Hello and welcome to the Cardinal Report, the show that takes a look at North Central College athletics. I'm Will Armistead, and today we're meeting with the women's and men's cross-country teams as both programs were recently crowned the season's CCIW champions. We'll recap the two races, visit with a pair of Cardinal coaches and runners, and have much more as the Cardinal Report rolls on. With Wheaton College taking the last two CCIW titles, the North Central ladies were in search of that top spot, something they last claimed in 2006. It came down to that final fifth place position for each team, with the Cardinals edging out the Thunder 48-49 for the team victory. Here to talk about the championships in this season is assistant coach Megan Andracki and senior Lauren Mitchell. Guys, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Coach, it really did come down to that fifth and final spot, North Central edging out Wheaton 48-49. You know, I don't think there's many sports where it can come down to a runner who's not maybe finishing in the first couple of spots there. Can you kind of just talk about the difference maker this past Saturday and how North Central edged out Wheaton for that team title?
Yeah, I mean, basically the race plan was that we all wanted to pack up and move up together, and really they did a great job following that plan. You know, each kind of went back and forth between us and Wheaton a few times, but our third, fourth, fifth runners were all able to keep building through the whole race and kind of edge out Wheaton's third, fourth, and fifth runners. So it really did come down to that, out kicking them or passing them in the last mile. That's kind of what got us the points we needed. So.
Right. And it doesn't seem like that's something you can really simulate at practice. It's something that you can only really go through during a competition like that. Along with that, when you're running or as a runner, do you know kind of the position that your team's in? Maybe outside of if you're in the top five and you know those girls are in front of you, but if you're kind of in the middle of the pack, do you kind of have an idea of what the outcome is going to be during the race?
Well, you don't know 100%, but we went in knowing that we were, the top team and that we needed to be up there in the beginning of the race. And conference is a little nicer too because it's a smaller race. You can count, you can tell where you're at. We have a lot of coaches, around the course telling you what place you're in and things like that. And it's just basically applying the concepts we learn in practice, really building through the race. And we said, every point counts, every runner counts. It doesn't matter what other color they're wearing. So if we, close it up and finish it hard, even if you're not in a scoring position, you're still helping to push the runners who are in that position. So. Can
you kind of elaborate on that a little more? We briefly touched on this before being here today, just about, it's not always about your top five scores. I mean, even somebody not scoring in that top five does make a big difference in the race. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I mean, basically, our third and fourth runners were neck and neck with Wheaton's third and fourth runners, and what it came down to was our fifth runner being being one place or 3 seconds ahead of Wheaton's runner. So that it's basically a 2-point swing. If you pass up that girl, they lose a point, but we also gain a point, and that's what gaining a point helped us in terms of getting the championship. We got us the fewest points we needed.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah.
Now, this is the second CCAW championship for the team since actually 1995, last one coming in 2006.
Yeah. You
were actually a part of that team, correct?
Yes.
Is there any similarities, it being not too long ago, can you pull any similarities from the team that you were a part of just a couple of years ago and the team that you now coach this year?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of different girls on the team, a totally different atmosphere, but it's that a lot of the attitude and the effort that they put in, the ability for them, like I said previously, for them to stick to the race plan and follow the race plan and keep picking people off and keep moving as the race goes. Right. And then besides that, their attitudes too. All these girls went in with championship attitudes and knew that we were, the best team there, and we could, pull off the first place. So they really have carried that through the entire season. It wasn't just something that came about that day. So it was that's two of the biggest similarities that I see, at least. So.
Right. Now, Lauren, you're a senior on this year's team. You have a lot of experience. Can you kind of talk about having that, 2 months leading up to what will be the regionals in about a week and a half, and really what the team needs to do and kind of work on heading into regionals and hopefully qualifying for nationals?
Sure. Being such a young team, a lot of the girls don't have as much of the college big racing experience, and it's something that throughout the year we've worked on getting in the right races so that they can have those experiences to build on and get ready for regionals. As far as having more experiences in bigger races and being able to help them, my job is really to prepare them mentally and physically for regionals and the big race atmosphere, and getting everyone mentally prepared, knowing that we can go to qualify for nationals, and getting them mentally ready and feeling that they can qualify.
Right.
So a lot of it is getting them mentally ready and then physically ready throughout practice, and just ready to go, get them pumped and ready for the race.
Right. Now these races are going to be a little bit different than maybe what the team has experienced throughout the earlier part of the season. Besides it being what you may consider postseason running, it being regionals and nationals, what other differences are there at these two events that maybe differentiate it from the past 2 months of the season?
Yeah. Well, a race is always a race. You always have to put your best foot forward, no matter what race it is, whether it's regionals or just the first race of the year.
Right.
So the main difference between this is the weight that goes along with it. We know that doing well here can qualify us for nationals, and being able to rise to that level mentally, knowing that you can achieve that, is really where it's going to make the difference. We've all raced 6Ks before. We know what to do. We've raced in larger races, so you know what to do when there's lots of people around. It's the mentality of raising yourself up to the level where you know you can achieve it and being ready to run at a national level.
Right. Now, at practice this week, from the CCIW championships to regionals, you have about a week and a half off. And then from regionals to the nationals, you have another week off. Are practices tailored a little differently heading into regionals and nationals than what they were, back in September or October? Or do you try and maintain a rigid schedule as you have the whole season?
As far as intensity goes, it probably stays the same. We try to practice at the same level of intensity all year. The more mileage side of it might decrease a little, so we don't tire out our legs, or we want to keep our legs fresh and ready to go. So as far as practicing at the same level, we still practice as hard as we can and get it all done. It might just be to a little lesser scale of distance or length of time that we're going. But it's still the same intensity. You want to keep that going. If anything, fire up intensity a little bit as far as turning your legs over and becoming more quick and ready to go.
Sure. It sounds like you have a great perspective of the team. Again, being a senior and being a senior leader, what can we expect at regionals of the North Central College Cardinals?
Well, I expect a lot personally. I hope and I know everyone on the team expects a lot from the team as well. We have a group of girls that have really sold out to this team and the atmosphere and wanting to achieve the goal of qualifying to nationals. It's really been such a team effort, and everyone's mindset is there. Out of 24 girls, I don't think anyone is off that mental mindset of we want to go to nationals, we want to work hard. So that's what's really exciting. So really just making sure everyone is there and mentally ready is all we need, and that's been so exciting that everyone has been there.
It's very exciting. Guys, good luck, and thanks again for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
When we return, we'll be joined by Cardinal men's coach Al Carius and your 2009 CCIW men's champion, Sean Carlson. Stay tuned.